Okay, hey guys, day 15. This is a little bit strange because I'm recording this pretty much 5 hours before I'm going to do day 16, but I'm recording this for the second time. I just recorded the entire video. I said some really interesting things, and, well, now I got to do it again because I forgot to hit record. I knew it was bound to happen one of these days, but today of all days, uh, you'll see why it's a little bit more. Anyways, let's just get into it. Yeah, Tuesday. Always a good day when I get to go to my young adult ministry at my church. Always find some wonderful tidbits there, and today I'm gonna share some of them. And we talked. The message was about perseverance and running your race of life. And how it's a marathon, and you can't just. And when you trip, you can't just. Oh, yeah, I tripped. It's not worth continuing, right? You have to just keep getting up because Satan's the one who trips you on your journey of life. I mean, you might trip over a route in a marathon, but Satan is the one that's going to be that route in life. He's going to be tripping you up. So, if you give into a sin, like I did that today, but I'm getting back up. I'm asking God for forgiveness, continuing on my journey. So, anyways, what one thing I had this underlined in my notes, and I had to go back and read it afterwards because I wanted to see why it was underlined. But one of the things that I really found insightful, or I wouldn't necessarily say insightful, I guess. Well, one of the things that stuck out to me was the passage of 1 Corinthians 9:24 through 27. It's, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like somebody running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. So basically, what I'm doing now, if I am not disciplined in my own life, I'll miss the mark, but maybe I will have led other people. But that's also, I want to mention that slave in this context, it's our bodies are of the flesh, prone to wander. Satan can tempt the flesh, and the flesh is really prone to sinning. And so, what slave in this context means is we need to take our flesh and force it and be like have the discipline to follow God and give it to God, give our lives to God so that he may keep us holy, keep us righteous for the final day of judgment. So that's what that means. But anyways, also reading through 1 Corinthians 1:9, that's the verse that made me read it, but I also found another thing that's actually kind of applicable to what I'm doing right now. Verses 16 through 17. 1 Corinthians 9:16 through 17. For when I preach the gospel, I cannot boast, since I am compelled to preach. Woe to me if I do not preach the gospel. Now that's Paul saying that in a letter to the Corinthians, so it's obviously Paul talking about himself. He's compelled to preach the gospel. Now, not everyone necessarily is going to do that in the same way, but I think that it's really important to remember one of our missions that we're called to is sharing the gospel. I think it's going to look different for everybody, but hey, it's something that I found really really insightful and really, I wouldn't necessarily say validating of what I'm doing now, but I think it's encouraging for what I'm doing now because I don't know. It's just helped me gain perspective. And then the verse after it, verse 17 says, if I preach voluntarily, I have a reward. If not voluntarily, I'm simply discharging the trust committed to me. So that's now after saying what I just said, that does sound a little bit like I'm getting a big head, but no. For me, the reward is seeing other people go and have the faith that I have. For me, I don't get anything out of this. I really, I'm not doing this for any other reason than to, first of all, talk to myself in the future, but also put this out there for if anybody else hears it, I want them to be encouraged. I want them to see this and say, huh, that was a good tidbit. I want to know more. And so that's where I'm coming from. And so applying this to the life as a race, or life as a marathon, not a sprint. Every moment, every interaction, there's that opportunity, and again, those opportunities can look different for everybody. But yeah, another thing that was said was the fact that discipline is faith in the rear view, and that was what the preacher said. And what he meant by that is that discipline now, discipline in this moment, will look like faith when we look back at this moment, at however long it is, 2 years, a month, 3 months, 6 years, however long it is. If we're disciplined in that time period, when we look back at it from the future, that discipline is going to look like faith. We stayed faithful. So that's what I like. In other words, just keep swimming, as Dory would say. So anyways, let's see if I can remember what else I said in the video. But in the first one that I didn't hit record for. But anyways, no, but I think that really resonated with me because the last 6 years of my life have been extremely interesting, 5 of which I spent at college, and I never had any of these like crazy or unique or out of this world memories that other people had. I had my own struggles, I had my own ups and downs through college, I had my own memories, and I don't regret any of it. I don't. I mean, sure, I could have done more, but I don't look back at that and think, oh, I should have done more. I really, really wish I had done this. I mean, sometimes I'm like, yeah, maybe I should have done that, but I think about it and I look at one thing that I was faithful in through that entire 6 years, and this is why this resonated so well with me, is that through that entire 6 years, no matter what I was doing, I was always thinking, well, I'm a Christian. I need to be doing something. I feel like I need to be doing more. And I was always being encouraged to go back to church, go do this or that. And for some reason, I didn't. And I still don't know why. But I don't necessarily regret it either, because what ended up happening is through those 5 years that I was in college, I was just like, how do I do this? What should I do to get into the groove? But back in October of 2023, and this is after I graduated and got a job and all that stuff, but back in October of 2023, or late September, early October. I'm just going to say October 2023 because it makes it easier. I went back to church and something clicked. I was like, huh. All of a sudden, I started feeling more confident in myself, confident in who I am, confident in my faith. And I was realizing that all of this insecurities I may have had, whether it be my weight or the way I look, or to be fair, I think I look pretty handsome. No, that's a joke. But yeah, like I'm not like the most conventionally attractive person according to the world, right? But I was letting that kind of creep into my mind. I was like, well, man, I need to do something about that. But when I went back to church, I was realizing that, that's not what's important at all. And so all of that kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say low self-esteem, because I mean, I don't really get embarrassed that easy. There's like a few years ago, I just stopped getting embarrassed all that easily. I don't know, but no, I just felt more confident. It was more than just the lack of, or it was just more than not getting embarrassed. It was actual confidence in myself, confidence in my faith. It doesn't matter. And so that came with going back to church and being more intentional. And so alongside that, I discovered, I don't know, peace. And that'll tie in later with the Day 16's video, it's very strange having 2 videos and knowing what I'm going to talk about in Day 16 right now. But no, I found it extremely encouraging when I went back to church. Just some of the things that I was worrying about, I looked back and I was thinking, man, that's so silly. Why was I worried about let's see, what's something I can list here? Oh, well, yeah, why was I worried about my weight? I mean, don't get me wrong, my health is important, but why was I making that such like a big thing? Like, I saw myself like gaining the weight, and I was like, well, I should be doing more, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, but that wasn't helpful. That was just constantly taking up my mind, and I was like, And so it was interfering with other things that I was doing. But then I just stopped worrying about it. And then a month ago, roughly, I had another click. And I was just like, okay. I couldn't tell you precisely what the click was, but all of a sudden, and it coincided with why I started these videos, actually. It's something shifted where I was just feeling less inclined to be, I guess, lazy. Yeah, sure. We'll use the word lazy. Yeah, less inclined to be lazy. And I was thinking, huh, I didn't need to change that first. What happened is through my faithfulness in God, and through my prayers, and through just my being intentional in that part of my life, things started to fall in place, and I started to actually be able to see a path forward and see how different things I'm good at can help me stay disciplined with losing weight. And the last 2 weeks have been a testament to that, and a confirmation in my mind of just how faithful the Lord has been in my life, just across the board. Because the 5 years that I spent in college are now, I'm looking back at those and thinking, huh, I'd never want to do that again. I'm not I'm not embarrassed. I'm not like ashamed. I'm not regretting any of it. It's just, I was spending way too much time on things that weren't important. And so I'm going to spend the time moving forward on the things that are. And so that's just where I'll leave that. But I hope that again, 12 minutes. I'm already 12 minutes into the video, but see, this is why I'm not recording it the first time. I mean, this is a completely different video now because the first one wasn't recorded. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's God. Maybe it's God saying, "Yeah, this is the one." Anyways, maybe I'm being a little bit too facetious, but the reality is that I'm so much better off now than I was worrying about any of that other stuff. And I'm sure maybe that's a little bit of a cop out. Maybe that's, but hey, that's how I feel. I just, it's really been quite a, I wouldn't necessarily say profound, but it's been a very eye-opening and wonderful experience, kind of learning what makes me tick. And I think I mentioned it in the previous video. I might have mentioned in this one, but like I gave into a temptation today, and I looking back, I can recognize the exact things that led up to that temptation, and it's like, okay, I know how to prevent it in the future. And in reference to the race, it's the same thing as, okay, well, when you trip over a branch, you're to be a little bit more cautious and look out for those branches. But maybe there's a rock in the way this time, and it's the same thing. You can trip on that rock, but because you've recognized that, you can trip on a stick, well, if there's this rock in the pathway, you can trip on that too. For me, it was I've tripped on this stick in the past, so I know to look out for that, but today I tripped on the rock. And so I'm going to be looking out for the sticks and the rocks going forward. So anyways, I'm going to leave that there because if I'm not careful, I can make this a lot longer than 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and get into the stats. Over here. Yeah, this way. Stats. So today, or no, not today. But yes, wait, day 15. I'll just say day 15. Day 15, I got 5 hours and 57 minutes of sleep. I walked 6,957 steps, and I need the cameras over here, not over here. Here. Sorry, I've got two screens now with my face because I realized that I could connect my camera to my computer and actually just record straight to my computer instead of transferring the files later. But anyways, so yeah, I walked 6,957 steps. I burned 1,735 calories, and then wait, no. I ate 1,735 calories, and then I burned 3,537 calories for a deficit of 1,802 calories. So that will do it for day 15, and look forward to, in 5 hours, well, actually, you'll see the next one, 9 a.m., but in 5 hours, I'm recording day 16, and there's going to be a continuation of kind of the whole peace and contentment thing, because tonight, on Wednesday, I went to a Wednesday night class at my church, and I love the series that we're doing. So, anyways, hope y'all had a good day today. I will see y'all tomorrow for day 16.